This is a movie that can make countless audiences turn pale just by looking at the name. No One Sleeps in the Woods Tonight is said to have swept all American horror movies once it was released. The horror level is comparable to banned movies, and even perverts dare not watch it twice. The story begins with a single mother who kills a wild boar every day, but she never eats it herself. Instead, she throws it into the basement. However, as she grows older, she finds it very difficult to hold up the wild boar. This time, she accidentally falls into the basement, and the nightmare follows. A few days later, internet addiction transformation ushered in a group of newcomers. All their electronic products were confiscated. In order to show their class, they also specially invited a priest to send them warmth and blessings. Then, the teenagers were divided into many groups according to the results of the lottery, and each group had different tasks. Each group had a teacher leading a 3-day wilderness survival transformation. However, before long, something strange happened. Xiaopeng found a dead deer while peeing. Judging from the wound, it should have been hunted by a large carnivore. The teacher advised everyone not to be afraid, but Xia found a bloody hand on a tree not far away, but it disappeared in an instant. But strangely, Xia did not tell others, but continued to move forward with the team until night. Afterwards, Xiao Shui felt bored, so he ran to the lake alone to relieve his boredom. Unexpectedly, Annie also ran over. When she learned that Xiao Shui was also a chef, her saintly heart instantly overflowed, and she had to act as Xiao Shui's life mentor. However, in order not to cause trouble, Annie returned to the camp, while Xiao Shui rested alone by the lake and took out his hidden mobile phone to pass the time. However, the terrible nightmare came. The next morning, the teacher found that Xiao Shui had not returned all night. After repeated inquiries, he learned about Annie's affair with Xiao Shui last night. However, when they arrived at the lake, they did not find Xiao Shui, but only teaching tools on the ground. However, Xia found fresh bloodstains on the tree nearby, but the teacher said that it was the red branches of the dragon blood tree, and there was nothing to be surprised about. Looking for Xiao Shui all the way, squatting in the camp all the way. On the way to find, Xiaopeng kept complaining that in horror movies, people would die if they acted separately, otherwise it would be safe to return to the base. Then the three came to a small house in the forest. After confirming that no one responded, they went in directly. Suddenly, there was a sound from the basement, and after opening the entrance, a foul smell came to the face. Going down the stairs, the teacher was shocked to find Xiao Shui's body on the chopping board. They realized the danger and had to leave immediately. However, at this moment, the ogre brother came back, and the three could only hide in the basement. Fortunately, there was a small window to escape, but just when the three were about to escape, the teacher found Xiao Shui's mobile phone. If he could get it, he could call the police. But the ogre brother was really strong, and the teacher gave away his head. Xia and the others were scared. They just wanted to escape from here, but they didn't know where to escape. At the same time, Annie and Bal, who stayed behind, talked to each other. After getting to know each other, the two became sworn brothers and became good sisters. When Bal asked Annie again, Annie was pierced through the throat by a wooden stick, and Bal ran away in fear. However, he was still very lucky. There was a church nearby, and the priest's car was parked there. He told the priest what happened just now and asked the priest to call the police quickly. But unfortunately, the priest called several times but couldn't get through. However, as soon as the priest finished speaking, the phone rang. Bal woke up and found himself tied to a chair, and the priest was sitting in front of him with a lewd smile on his face. It turned out that the priest had noticed him a long time ago. During the last transformation, the priest discovered that Bal was a homosexual. Suddenly, the noise outside interrupted the priest. It turned out to be a wood chipper.
Yes.
Before the priest could figure it out, Bal was such an unlucky child. He had just escaped from the tiger's mouth and fell into the wolf's den. Who knew that the tiger chased him again? But there was no place to hide in this church. There was no way out. the same time, Xia and Xiaopeng were lucky. They were taken in by an old man. When the old man learned about their experience, he immediately told them the origin of the monster. There used to be a single mother living nearby. She raised a pair of twins. But one day, a meteorite suddenly fell from the sky. The twins ran over curiously and took one home. But at night, the stone oozes black liquid. They drilled into the bodies of the twins. The mother woke up in the middle of the night and found that her sons were gone. The mother followed the blood and found that the two sons ran into the basement and ate their own dog. The mother was frightened and locked them up in a hurry. Since then, the mother often hunted animals to feed the twins to prevent them from running out and harming people. However, as the mother was old and weak, she accidentally fell into the basement herself. They were eaten alive by their son. The twins often went out to hunt all the creatures that appeared nearby. Once, the old man encountered them and lost his legs. The old man persuaded Xia and the others to stay and wait until it was safer before leaving, but ran back to the ogre's lair to get Xiaoshuai's phone to call the police. Akson used himself as bait to lure out the ogre in the basement, so that Xia had time to get the phone. However, they still underestimated the ogre because the ogre killed a sneak attack and directly blocked Xia in the basement. Although he got the phone, Xia was arrested. At the critical moment, Xiaopeng appeared, but the knife he stabbed was like a tickle to the ogre. Xia was knocked unconscious by a slap, and it was the smell of Xiaopeng's meat that made the ogre brother take a bite. Xia woke up and found that Xiaopeng was dying and she was also locked up. She suddenly remembered Xiaoshuai's mobile phone, so she suppressed her nausea, using Xiaoshuai's broken hand to unlock the fingerprint. But the funny thing is that the mobile phone was out of power. Xia was about to collapse. He picked up the dagger and knocked randomly. Who knew that he really opened the chain? But he didn't want to escape at this time. Instead, he picked up a 30-meter-long sword and killed the ogre brother with a few slashes while he was sleeping. Xia escaped from there. On the road, Xia met a forest ranger and told him about his experience. He knew that he hit someone. The forest ranger got out of the car to check the situation, but Xia asked him to come back quickly. At this time, the car door could not be opened. Xia was so anxious that he was about to cry, but the forest ranger was confused. She watched the ogre brother getting closer and closer. Is this going to end? Fortunately, she broke the car window and got into the driver's seat. However, the car could not start, and she could only let the ogre brother climb onto the roof and chop with an axe. Fortunately, the car started at the critical moment, but Xia did not rush to escape. Instead, she put the car in reverse gear and hit the ogre brother hard. She was afraid that the ogre brother was not dead, so she put the car in forward gear and hit the monster again. Looking at the monster lying on the ground, Xia left with peace of mind. Do you think this is the end? When it was night, two drunk buddies passed by the scene and vaguely saw someone on the ground.